Welcome to my 5th week of the John Maxwell book, Thinking for a Change. Today we're going to look at the wisdom of big thinking. Are you a big thinker or do you think on the small side? The first thing I'm going to do is look at an excerpt from the Charlie Brown comic strip. And this is where Charlie Brown is talking to Lucy. I think everybody has seen Charlie Brown comic strips. This is where Charlie Brown says, "These are the hands of which may someday accomplish great things. These are the hands which may someday do marvelous works. They may build great bridges, or heal the sick, or hit home runs, or write soul-stirring novels. These are the hands which may someday change the course of destiny." Lucy looks up at his hands and simply says, "They've got jelly on them." All right, so let's think about Charlie Brown and Lucy. Charlie Brown's a dreamer. He has vision. But what is Lucy? She's a negative Nelly. She's always looking to cut everything down. Which side of the spectrum are you on? All right, so today we're going to look at some things that help you build big thinking mentality. First of all, one of the things is continual learning. What's your area? What are you interested in? Where is your work that you're doing? You need to look around and find areas of continued education. And that might be online, it might be in person at seminars, or it might be simply reading a book and highlighting the things that are important to you. But continue learning. And then one that's easy and at no cost is learning to listen. If you listen to other people, you will find people who know things that you don't know. And this runs into my favorite word, collaboration. When you get in a group of people and you start tossing around something, an idea, you find people have all different perspectives on your idea. They bring forth things that you never thought of. And so if you learn to listen to other people and don't close them out, then you may learn something you don't know. You may learn something you never thought of, and it just opens your mind to bigger thinking. Learn from every experience, good ones and bad ones. Now, often we look at great experiences and we think about what we learned, but sometimes when there's a bad experience, we don't stop to think about exactly what it is we can take away from that. Even when you're learning online on a course, maybe there's a course that you go in to study on and you don't really agree with the speaker. Maybe they're too slow for you, too fast for you, or maybe they don't bring enough content for you. But if you look and you start to study what's going on, you can still learn something that you can use for yourself. So every situation, good or bad, you can learn something and take it away. Some people naturally think about this because they're in a learning and educating mode, while others are oblivious. They're oblivious to the good things that go on in life. They forget to be grateful and thankful, and they're oblivious to the learning experiences in life. When you learn, you can move forward in life. There's uncharted territory. The big thinker is willing to move forward into uncharted territory. They may stop and think about the risk and what can happen, but they also think about the big vision and where they can go. And then they have to weigh the pros and the cons and decide which direction that they will go. But they have to be first able to open up their mind and see the vision of big thinking. And here's a really great one. Learning to think from other people's perspective. So often we only think from our perspective, how things affect us. But when we learn to think about others and what their perspective is, it really broadens our view and helps us to relate to other people. For instance, in a time of crisis, even now, like with all the money being given into small businesses, you think about the different aspects of that. And how much it costs government, or how can they keep giving that much money? So I think from the government side, at the same time, I'm thinking about the small business side. And I tend to do that. Think of my side and think of your side. And that works out because it also helps you to relate to people whenever you do that. The ability to put yourself in another person's place helps you understand maybe their marriage, the good and the bad. It maybe helps you understand children, why they're acting up, or why they're having conflict, with other kids. It helps you understand your clients because you're just looking from your perspective and how this affects you. And when you stop and you think about how it affects your clients, then they know you care about them and that you've got their back and you're looking at it, from a bigger view. A teachable spirit is described in failing forward. Do you ever think about that? Did you ever hear that? I used to hear that in my old leadership position. Failing forward, those people who have fallen down before you, skint their knees, got back up, and brushed their knees off and kept going. So often we think when somebody's really successful, they've just had it made. They had a lucky break. They were born into a great family or great opportunity. But really, every successful person that has fell and skinned their knees, but they didn't fall down and stay down. They brushed themselves off and they got back up. All right, so failing forward. This is what this book is from. This quote is from. Teachability is an attitude. What kind of attitude do you have? It's a mindset that says, no matter how much I know or think I know, I can learn from this situation. And then John Maxwell goes on to say, that kind of thinking can help you turn adversity into advantage. And during this time, crazy time that we're going through right now in April of 2020, many people are in hardship and having a hard time, while others are taking advantage of opportunities that come their way that weren't there before. Also, within this is, it can make you a winner. Thinking like this can help make you a winner, even during the most difficult circumstances. And that's from John Maxwell. Big thinkers learn to live completely. They have gratitude. They're thankful to people. They're thankful to God for what He's given them. They're thankful for situations. They look into something going on that might be hard, and they give thanks for what is good, and they see the good in things. You can spend your life any way that you choose, but you only get to spend it once. I'm going to repeat that because it's really big. You can spend your life any way that you choose, but you and everyone else only gets to spend their life one time. So think about that. Big thinkers see the vision before others do, just because they see what can be. They stop to think what can be. They stop to think about how that can be. And they see the good side and the more optimistic side on things. Big thinkers see the challenges and they figure out what the solution is to step through those challenges. So they see the challenges, they just see a way through the challenges. Big thinkers learn from the past. Sometimes people get stuck in the past, but big thinkers learn from the past. They take that knowledge and then they use it to do better in the future. Big thinkers seize the moment. They seize that chance when it's the right timing. If you take too long to make a decision and you can't see the big picture, you may never step out to try. And anything that you never stop out to try, you are 100% going to fail. You have to step out and try something, or you never know if you could. And many people who are not big thinkers never try those things they dream about, those things they think about. They never even try. And so it's kind of like a life gone to waste where they never stop to see if they could do, something better with it. Big picture thinking, they do the small things that feed into the most important things. They do the small things that feed into the one thing that matters the most. They get focused each day and they focus on that one thing that matters the most. They keep you, if you're on their team, they keep you on target by steering you in the right direction, giving you the information that you need, giving you encouragement that you're doing well, which helps you feel confident and do more, right? So they keep you on target. The big thinkers see what others don't. So quite often people are negative thinkers, and even in a situation where all you see is negativity, it does affect you whether you see the big picture or not. I was thinking even this morning, I was watching a show on TV, and a special character got killed in the show, and I felt sad for the person and for the person that was involved with that person. And then something happened this morning that was negative. I think I looked at a prayer request and I saw 2 or 3 people. One person was in, their sister was in a tornado and their house was blown away, and their brother was sick, and more negativity, but reality, right? You can't get away from that, but reality. And then something else happened, and I just felt so touched, and I felt a bit downtrodden from it. So sometimes, life does give us those things that pull us down, but it's what we do with those things. We have to brush ourselves off, and we have to look forward, and we have to look at the big picture. Otherwise, you can't lead people, you can't direct people, you can't lead yourself unless you can pick yourself up and you can brush yourself off. It is up to the big picture thinkers to create the vision for people. Even during this crazy time, I'm going to say one more time, it is up to the people who can see past the devastation, see past the hardships, that can create the vision. Because without a vision, without a dream, without hope, we don't stop and move forward, step ahead, go up the stairs, climb the ladder. We have to stop and move forward and change directions at the right time. And sometimes we have to give ourselves permission. Sometimes, we can see a vision and we can be a big thinker, but we think, who am I to do great things? Who am I to be as great as that person? We find ourselves comparing ourselves with someone else that we think is much greater than I. But you know what? God created each one of us equal. It doesn't matter if you were born into a rich home or a poor home. He created each and every one of us with a mind and the ability to think, the ability to search for something better. And so it is up to you to search for your vision and your big thinking, and to step into what is new for you, what is good for you, and to learn to lead others. And I'm going to finish with this quote from David Schwartz, and it says, "Where success is concerned, people are not measured in inches or pounds, or college degrees, or family backgrounds. They are measured by the size of their thinking." You are not measured by anything in your life, but by the size of your thinking. Where do you measure from a 1 to a 10? I want you to stop and think about it. From a 1 to a 10, 1 being the teeniest, you're no big thinker at all, to number 10, I am a big thinker. Where do you measure today, and how and what can you do to raise your level of thinking and become a big thinker? Thanks for listening. Connie Durham with Connie's Clever Concepts.